Once upon a time, there was a priest who lived in Boston. Contrary to his calling, this priest hurt innocent people. He wasn't what he appeared. He was a bad man. For reasons that no one will ever truly understand, his employer, the church, didn't punish him. Instead, they sent the priest anonymously to a new church in another district where he could harm other innocent people. Because of its moral authority, the church has managed to use this same approach for countless other bad men until 2002, when something changed. I am Greg McIntyre, and I'd like to present Clay Shirky's perspective on how network technology has successfully removed obstacles to collective action in plain English. Obstacles come in many forms. In his book, Here Comes Everybody, Clay Shirky describes how technology can act to remove barriers to action that many of us are not aware exist until they are removed. Shirky uses the example of bad priests and a corrupt church to demonstrate how collective action was suppressed until technology was introduced that removes the barriers, allowing for collective action to take place on an unprecedented level. So, what exactly changed between 1992 and 2002 that allowed for a groundswell of collective action that forced the church to change? Let's have a closer look. In 1992, the Boston Globe broke the story of a bad priest. Although the story upset laity, the church managed the fallout from the story, sending the offender to another jurisdiction with very little consequence. Shirky accounts for the lack of collective action by pointing out the gap between intention and action. Shirky suggests that the impulse to share important information is a basic one, but that in 1992 its manifestation was clunky. To clip an article and share it with a group would involve sourcing, taking clippings, making copies, creating some sort of correspondence, stuffing and addressing envelopes, and making a trip to the local post office for stamps and to post the offending material. Shirky suggests that these sorts of steps are small, yet important barriers that create a gap between intention and action. Let's leap ahead to 2002 and see what the future holds. With the proliferation of computer technology that supported enhanced personal networking, sharing became a whole lot easier than ever before. In 2002, the Boston Globe had its own website. The act of forwarding a story to friends and colleagues had gone from tedious to all but effortless, dramatically reducing what Shirky refers to as transaction costs. What does this mean to the people who want to take action against an institution that is being deceitful and manipulative? Let's have a look. Remember back in 1992 when there were all the barriers to action? Well, they no longer exist in 2002. Not only did new technology support the sharing of important information, but it also did a number of other things to help close the gap to action. Active bloggers helped to keep the story in the limelight longer than the church could suppress it. Priestly abuse was tracked and easy to access. Social networking supported the rapid growth of an organized grassroots movement made up of churchgoers who demanded change. Shirky points out that revolution doesn't happen when society adopts technology. It happens when society adopts new behaviors. He suggests that the rise of group-forming networks is best viewed not as an invention, but as an event, a thing that has happened in the world that cannot be undone. The communications tools, broadly adopted in the last decade, are the first to fit human social networks well. And because they are easily modifiable, they can be made to fit better over time. We now have many-to-many tools that support and accelerate cooperation and action. The possibilities for global organization enabled by those tools continues to grow. I'm Greg McIntyre, and this has been Clay Shirky's perspective on how network technology has successfully removed obstacles to collective action in plain English. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got some social networking to take care of.